Hi, welcome to the session. As we discussed earlier, in module 4 we come across two important topics. One is the centroid, another one is the moment of inertia. In the previous sessions we discussed about the centroid concepts as well as the problems. Then the second topic, or we can say it is the second unit in the module 4, that is moment of inertia. Then what do you mean by moment of inertia? How we are going to calculate? Suppose consider one irregular area, consider some given reference axis x axis and y axis. To this area let the centroid be somewhere here CG. Distance of this centroid from the y reference axis, we are going to call that one as x distance or centroidal distance in x direction. Distance of this centroid from the x axis in y direction, we are going to call that one as y, that is centroid in the y direction, centroidal distance in y direction. How we are going to get that one? If we observe the formula in case of the centroid, that comes like summation x bar is equal to summation of ax divided by summation of a, y bar is equal to summation of ay divided by summation of a, that is what ax and ay. We know that moment of a force is given by force into perpendicular distance. We are considering the force here. Suppose if we consider the area, moment of the area is given by area multiplied by distance, area multiplied by distance. This is nothing but, we call this one as the first moment of area. This is the area. If we multiply that one with perpendicular distance, we will get the moment of the area. We call that one as first moment of area. Is it? Suppose if I multiply the distance again, a into d is already there. If I multiply the perpendicular distance once again, it will become second moment of area. Second moment of area. So it will become moment is equal to a into distance square. Distance may be x square, ax square, or distance may be y, ay square. So this one I am going to call that one as moment of inertia. This second moment of area I am going to call that one as moment of inertia. In simple words, it is mi. Okay, and moment of inertia is indicated by I. Moment of inertia is indicated by I. So with this basic concept I will proceed further. So this concept I have explained in that one. Then here we come across some of the basic terms. Let us look into that. What do you mean by least and greatest moment of inertia? We know that moment of inertia is indicated by I. We are going to calculate with respect to x axis and y axis. So we call that one as ix bar and iy bar. Moment of inertia with respect to x axis, moment of inertia with respect to y axis. Which is the least moment of inertia and which is the greatest moment of inertia? How do you come to know? So what we are going to do means, we will calculate both the things in the given problem. Suppose assume that if ix bar is greater than the iy bar, then ix bar will become the greatest moment of inertia, iy bar will become the least moment of inertia. That's all. Then if we come to the radius of gyration, that is indicated by k. So what do you mean by radius of gyration? Radius, it's a dimension actually. In simple words, we can say, consider one irregular figure, regular or irregular figure. Centroid will be somewhere here. This is the given reference axis. I am going to call that one as 1 1. So distance of this centroid from the given reference axis, the perpendicular distance, I am going to call that one as k. That is the radius of gyration. How we can define that one means, it is the distance from the given axis. It is the distance from the given axis where the whole area of the plane figure is assumed to be concentrated. What do you mean by area of the plane figure is assumed to be concentrated? That is nothing but centroid. So, from the axis to the centroid, we are going to call that one as radius of gyration. Here it will become moment of inertia is equal to area multiplied by distance square. As we already discussed, like moment is nothing but area multiplied by 2 times of the distance, that is ax square ay square or a into distance square. So, here the distance is k. So, I is equal to a into k square, or if we cross multiply and write that one as in terms of k is equal to square root of I by a. I by a, if this square goes that side, it will become square root. K formula, radius of gyration formula is square root of I by a. Here we come across kx and ky, or kxx and kyy. It is given by square root of ix divided by a, square root of iy divided by a. This is regarding radius of gyration. Now, in this module, we come across 2 important theorems or derivations. One is parallel axis theorem, another one is perpendicular axis theorem. In this module, we come across 2 important derivations or the theorems, that is perpendicular axis theorem and the parallel axis theorem. Now, the first one, parallel axis theorem. Now, before going into the statement, I will consider some individual figure. This is the given reference axis 1 1. The area of the plane figure is A. Let this be the centroid. Okay. Distance of this next consider one strip here, nothing but small element of this irregular area. So, this from the axis to the centroidal line, the distance will be y bar. Again, from here to the this small strip, the distance is y. Now, this figure illustrates illustration of parallel axis theorem for moment of inertia about an axis parallel to the x axis, about an axis parallel to x axis. Okay. The statement is given by, the statement of parallel axis theorem is given by, this theorem states that the moment of inertia of a plane figure about an axis I11, that is 11 is the given axis. It states that moment of inertia of a plane figure about an axis I11 parallel to the centroidal axis. What do you mean by centroidal axis? Any line passes through the centroid of the given area, then we call that one as centroidal axis. Here the given axis is parallel to the centroidal axis, that comes under parallel. Suppose if the given axis is perpendicular to the centroidal axis, then it come under perpendicular. It states that the moment of inertia of a plane figure about an axis I11 parallel to the centroidal axis Ixx and is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about centroidal axis and is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis, that is Ix bar, and the product of area of the plane figure and square of the distance between the two axes. I will tell you how it is while we go through the proof. This is the statement. Actually, this statement explains the formula which we derived from the parallel axis theorem. Then proof. If we come to the proof, let us consider a plane figure of total area A as shown in the figure which I shown. Then Ix bar is given by moment of inertia about xx axis, that is centroidal axis. Then I11 is given by moment of inertia about 1 1 axis. Now consider the elemental strip or a small strip of area dA at a distance y from the centroidal axis, like here given in the problem. We considered the area of A, we considered one reference axis 1 1, then xx axis will be the centroidal axis passing through the centroid. The distance from reference axis to the centroidal axis is y bar, from centroidal axis to the elemental strip is y. Then moment of inertia about xx axis is given by, moment of inertia about xx axis is given by, it is E is nothing but element, small strip we took, no, that one, moment of inertia of the element about xx axis. This area, small strip area, total area is A, small strip area, let us take that one as dA. So, we know that moment of inertia is nothing but area multiplied by distance square. So, we are calculating moment of inertia of this area about the xx axis. Area is how much? dA. Distance between this strip and xx axis is how much? Y. So, it will become dA into y square. It will become dA into y square. Then moment of inertia of the total area about the xx axis is given by, the total area we are going to call that one as Ix bar. Moment of inertia of total area is I bar, with respect to xx axis Ix bar. So, what we need to do? We need to sum that area, sum of the dA into y square. Then moment of inertia of the elemental strip about the 1 1 axis. Previously we took with respect to xx axis. Now we are going to take moment of inertia with respect to 1 1 axis. Now you only tell me how much will be the area, how much will be the distance. The area of the element is dA and the distance between elemental strip and 1 1 axis is how much? Y plus y bar. So it will become area dA multiplied by distance square, y plus y bar whole square. Therefore, we need moment of inertia of the total area with respect to 1 1 axis, that is given by I11, that is given by sum of dA into y plus y bar square. It is of the form a plus b whole square. So, we are going to get a square plus b square plus 2ab. So, expand it and multiply with the summation of dA. So, we are going to get summation of dA into y square, summation of dA into y bar square, plus we are going to take 2 y bar outside, summation of dA into y. Then as the distance of the centroid of the whole area from the centroidal axis is 0, as the distance of the CG of the whole area from the centroidal axis is 0, is it? No. This is the xx axis, centroid is this one. The perpendicular distance between the centroid and this xx axis is 0 only, because both are lying on the same line. 0, that is, if the xx axis is passing through the centroid, then y will become 0. Y is equal to 0. We get in the previous equation, we get I11 equal to, wherever y is there here, so it will become 0. We are going to get it as summation of y will become 0. So, 1 minute, I will tell you. So, therefore, I11 we are going to get it as Ix bar plus a into y bar square. How we got this one? So, 1 minute, I will explain. Summation of dA into y square. So, here we have already Ix bar is equal to summation of dA into y square, that is Ix bar. So, it will become I11 is equal to Ix bar plus a into y bar square. So, similarly if we took y axis passing through the centroid, and if we took the reference axis which is parallel to this vertical centroidal axis, then I22 is given by Iy bar plus A into x bar square. Therefore, we derived the formula I is equal to Ix bar plus A into y square, or I is equal to Iy bar plus A into x square. This is regarding parallel axis theorem. We have another theorem, that is perpendicular axis theorem, that is given by, the statement is, this theorem states that the moment of inertia of a plane figure about an axis which is perpendicular to the plane of the figure is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about two mutually perpendicular axes. Let us look into the proof. Nothing but here also we are going to derive some formula here. Proof. Let us consider an irregular figure of total area A as shown in the figure. I will show you. Then let us choose an elemental strip of area dA at a distance x from the y axis, then y from the x axis and r from the z axis respectively. Now this is the x axis, y axis, this is the x axis, y axis and z axis. We took 3 axes and we consider some irregular area in the xy axis or xy plane. Then the total area is A, then small strip area is dA. So distance of the centroid of this area from the y axis it is x, from the x axis it is y, from the center nothing but origin it is L. The figure illustrates the perpendicular axis theorem. Now consider the moment of inertia about the xx axis. It is given by, it is the xx axis, the moment of inertia is nothing but area multiplied by distance square. So area is dA, distance is y, so dA into y square. So moment of inertia of the total area about the xx axis, that is Ix bar, is given by for small element this much. For entire area we need to add sum of the elements. So sum of dA into y square. So like that, moment of inertia of the element about the y axis is given by dA multiplied by x square. So moment of inertia of the total about y axis, it is given by Iy bar, that is given by summation of dA into x square. Therefore, moment of inertia of the element about zz axis is given by dA into r square. Here I took L, you can take it as r, let it be r here. Okay. It is given by dA into r square. Therefore, total moment of inertia of total area with respect to zz axis is given by sum of dA into r square. Now, sum of dA, or how we can write that one? We can write that one as x square plus y square. Here, listen. Here I will write it and show you. It is like a rectangle. Okay. This side it is x, this side it is y, and the distance is r. It looks like a right angle triangle now. So r is equal, r is the hypotenuse, these two are the adjacent and opposite. So we can write r square is equal to x square plus y square, like that. Here also, from the given figure we can write r square is equal to x square plus y square. So if we multiply, it will become summation of dA into x square plus summation of dA into y square. We know that summation of dA into x square is nothing but Iy bar, summation of dA into y square is nothing but Ix bar. So moment of inertia about the total axis with respect to zz is nothing but Iz bar. We got Iz bar is equal to Ix bar plus Iy bar. This is regarding perpendicular axis theorem. Thank you.